Hey there! Welcome to the Flute 360 podcast. I'm Dr. Heidi Kay Begay, and I'm a flutist, educator, coach, and podcaster. My God-given mission is to serve you. I am passionate about guiding you, the modern-day flutist, to discover your unique voice on and off the stage. The goal of this podcast is to help you thrive, both as an artist and as a musicpreneur. Go ahead and grab your espresso, your favorite notepad, and let's get to it. Today's episode is episode 325, and it's titled, Stop Undervaluing Your Creativity: How to Sell Your Projects with Confidence. Hey, flute friend. Are you sitting on an amazing course, a book, or another brilliant project idea, but it's collecting dust instead of dollars? Listen up. You have until April 30th to grab your exclusive Flute 360 coaching bundle at $200 off. This is your only chance this year for private one-on-one sessions with me, your flutepreneur guide who's walked the path you're dreaming of. I promise, I don't bite. I strategize, listen, and help you bring crystal clear focus to finally getting your creative work into the world, transforming your musical dreams into real financial fulfillment. Spots are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. Schedule your calls at your convenience in May, June, or beyond, but act now. Visit the link in the show notes to secure your spot today. Hey, Flute 360er. Thank you so much for tuning in to this 9-part episode series all about your creations, from pivoting, creating, marketing, and everything in between. We are now starting to wrap up the series where I would be remiss not to discuss sales. Just like marketing, sales does not have to be sleazy. Marketing is an invitation. Just like sales is enrolling your person into that invitation because you want to help them with their transformation. We are going to get into the weeds of this topic, but I just want to pour my heart out to you real quick because I want you to know that I see you. The reason for this series is because so many Flute 360ers come to me through emails, DMs, and phone calls, and they pour their heart out to me. And I'm so thankful that you are that honest and vulnerable in sharing your world with me. You're hurt because the formula is not adding up. The math isn't mathing. And I'm sorry, I am a numbers girl. I love colors, I love storytelling, but I also love numbers because numbers don't lie. Many of you on these phone conversations and email conversations, you guys are sharing with me your 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. The math isn't mathing. Your 1 + 1 is a negative number. You are falling short. And it's not you necessarily falling short. It's the education and the training that you have had thus far. It's not adding up to today's current climate and today's current industry. If you are an adjunct flute professor, you are probably making about $800 in USD a month. And that's it. $800 a month is barely getting you your food for the month. Then you are quickly driving to the next gig to pick up $100 here, $100 there, probably teaching in some school district where the school district's price point for a 30, 45, 60-minute lesson is below the industry's standards. And at the end of the month, you are continually getting into debt. That's not okay with me because you have poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into your craft between instruments, music, teachers, master classes, competitions, degrees. And the list goes on and on. And for you to keep showing up and giving your 1000%, and the fruit of your harvest is not rendering what you had hoped for, we need to start injecting our Flute community with the right knowledge about business, about sales, about marketing. We need to have these real conversations because I'm sorry, I'm the first one, and I know I'm not the only one, but I will be the first one to apologize for these outdated music curriculums. It pains me, but you have the power. You have the power to change. You have the power to pivot. You have the power to say, I'm not okay with this life. I'm not okay with dumping and molding my craft, but yet not get sustained and not get paid for that financial fulfillment. And you're not a selfish person to want more. Not only do you want to be financially fulfilled to pay your bills, to go on a vacation, to see your family, but I know your heart. I know you want to give back to your community. There are so many flutists out there right now who are starting up podcasts to help the underprivileged students who cannot afford lessons. That is a heart of servitude. There's a new flute podcast out there right now who understands, like, there are some students out there in particular districts who cannot afford flute lessons. I'm going to go ahead and offer these lessons through this new podcast so someone out there can benefit and thrive with their instrument. That is a heart of servitude, and you should be compensated fairly and immensely for that heart of servitude. So I'm painting this picture because I want you to know that I see you. I know what your heart is like and that you have good intentions. I know many of you volunteer. I know many of you want to donate some of this money back into music programs, art organizations, nonprofit organizations, and the list goes on and on. But you can't do that when you are feeling depleted, when your well is empty. So, on a positive note, I want to change that dialogue. We were not taught about marketing and how sales works in our music degrees. The music curriculum is outdated. And you already know this. I'm preaching to the choir. So let me slowly get off my soapbox and really get into the heart of today's episode and the content so we can start moving the needle forward for you and for your career. So with all that being said, I know this and you know this, that selling your creative work can feel really intimidating, right? Like I said earlier, we weren't exactly taught sales techniques during music school. Maybe you're about to launch an online flute course or publish a book or start a subscription service, and that discomfort around pricing and selling is real. I totally get it. The reason why you're feeling awkward about it is because you're not doing it enough. But I've been there right with you, feeling unsure, hesitant about pricing my own offers. But I promise you, the more you do it, the easier it will get. And actually, I have dedicated a past episode through the Flute 360 podcast library to this exact feeling. You may want to check out Flute 360's episode 294, and it's titled Visible and Valued, Embrace Selling as an Invitation to Help Tackle These Hesitations Head On. So now you have a few episodes to choose from. So I want to encourage you. I want you to think about selling as learning a challenging flute piece for the very first time. Now, at first, initially, it's clumsy and unfamiliar, right? But with intentional practice, it quickly becomes second nature. And here's something I remind my clients about all the time. Selling isn't about pushing something unwanted. It's an invitation into transformation. You're simply inviting your people to experience something powerful and valuable that you and only you can offer them. Now, I have a question for you. Do you genuinely believe in your creative offer? I know you do, because you're here right now listening, learning, and growing in this arena. You've poured your heart, dedication, and expertise into this. So lead from that place of genuine conviction. So I don't know if you know this, but I have a sister company called The Pivoting Musician, who we unfortunately ended this past year because myself and my friend Garrett, we took other paths. We pivoted into our own business and we pivoted away from The Pivoting Musician. But through TPM, we would talk about these values and ideas all the time. So I've learned a lot along the way. I've learned a lot from Garrett in that work from The Pivoting Musician, and also with my friend Arthur and Garrett through the Ultimate Music Business Summit, where we would collectively come together as a whole these past 3 to 5 years and offer online courses and summits in this realm of helping musicians think more businessly. And this is a hang up for a lot of people. So I say this again because you're not alone, but with diligent practice and learning and listening to podcasts around marketing and sales, it will become second nature. It will become another language that is yours. It will no longer be foreign. We know this from the language of music. At first, the language was extremely foreign. Quarter note, quarter rest, eighth rest, 16th notes, etc. Remember the first time when you learned 32nd notes or 64th notes? Your little mind was like, what? I've never seen this before. But you persevered. You asked questions. You practiced diligently. And now it's second nature to you. That's what I want for you. I want this language of marketing and sales to be second nature to you and to your flutepreneur world. So let's talk about pricing and value for a moment. Oftentimes, we get caught up in numbers and feel so hesitant, thinking, will people actually pay for this? But it's not about the price. It's about the transformation you're offering. I want you to not get fixated over the dollar amount. I want you to get fixated on the results that you are giving to that person. If you're helping someone skip years of struggle, elevate their artistry, or save precious time and resources, now that's priceless. It's all about how you perceive it, how you package it up, and how you present it. Remember, it's okay to confidently state, my program is worth $2,000, $5,000, or even $10,000. You're not just stating a price. You're stating the value and the impact your work will have. I want to key in on an exercise that I often give to my own clients. And I encourage and I suggest that they write down 40 to 50 distinct points of value their offer provides. Now, I know that seems like a high number, but trust me on this. Once you write out those 40 to 50 value points, you are going to start being convinced of the value that you bring your person through X offering. When you see your value clearly listed out, seeing is believing, it will boost your confidence immensely. And that confidence comes through when you speak about your offer. Now, Confidence doesn't magically appear overnight. It's something you build through consistent practice, just like your scales and etudes. I want you to try this. I want you to try saying your price aloud repeatedly in front of a mirror, with friends, family members, or even by recording yourself. Please normalize the numbers so they become just another part of your vocabulary. I remember so clearly when I started securing sponsorships for Flute 360 way back in the day. My first sponsorship was around 2018, 2019, and I've been working and partnering with amazing flute companies since then. Asking for $500 initially felt extremely daunting. But through repeated practice, that discomfort gradually vanished. Eventually, I confidently was able to say price points like, oh, that corporate sponsorship tier is $1,000, $2,000, $20,000 without even blinking an eye. The numbers hadn't changed. My confidence in the value of my offer had. I knew the community that I was pulling together and that I was building in this amazing platform. I knew the knowledge and expertise and the organization that I was sculpting within each podcast series and bringing it to the flute world. I understood that value. I understood my zone of genius. I understood the transformation that you, the listener, were going through. Because of that, I was able to package these tiers up with confidence and air quote, pitch myself to these amazing businesses who believed in the guests, the knowledge, myself, and the platform as a whole. But this came with practice. This came with time. Seeing is believing. I went through that exact exercise and wrote out the 50 value points that Flute 360 offered the music community when I started on this adventure of corporate sponsorships. So I know it works because I actually went through the process myself, and that's why I encourage you and my clients to do the same thing, because the results will astound you. And those value points come in really handy as you're putting together that initial email to enroll somebody or bring somebody into your program. You then can be reminded of your value and their transformation. It comes in really handy seeing that list when you're feeling down and out. It comes in really handy when you're shaking your head, banging your head against the wall and asking yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I even bothering? You can go back to that list and it can boost up your confidence and say, here's why. So the more comfortable you get presenting your offer, the easier it is to communicate your worth. And if you ever need a reminder of how impactful your work can be, think of the countless students and clients who can skip confusion, stress, and perhaps struggle because of your guidance. Again, it's all about the transformation. At the heart of all of this is the belief that your creative work matters deeply. It's about clearly seeing and communicating the profound impact your work can have. Confidence in your value is never arrogance. It's just clarity. So, if today's conversation resonates with you, let's take some action together. Now, this is my time to invite you to enroll into the Flute 360 coaching bundle. And I don't feel sleazy or off or weird doing it. Do you know why? Because you're my flute friend. I see that you are in pain. You are in discomfort about your career. And I'm lovingly coming alongside you, extending out my hand and saying, here, friend, take it. I will help you with your transformation. I will grip onto your hand and lovingly pull you into my fishing boat, and we will sail in that boat together towards your transformation with strategy, clarity, and confidence. You do not have to do this alone. If you feel like past degrees and music curriculum have let you down, this is your opportunity to shift your narrative. This is your opportunity to claim something for yourself and say, no, I have value. I want you to recognize that just because you may not be that square peg trying to fit into that circle hole does not mean that you don't belong somewhere. You do belong somewhere. I want you to create your own door of opportunity and blessings so you can help your people come through the door you've built, build a community around you and your worth, so that way they can experience the transformation that you and only you can provide them. How amazing would that be? So if you need that flute coach to help you, I'm your girl. And I'm giving you a $200 discount on this bundle, this really special time together from now until April 30th. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes below, and I will come alongside you and we will get it done. So this is your chance to finally launch that creative project with tailored personal guidance. So as we wrap up, remember, you're not alone on this creative journey. I genuinely believe in you, and I'm rooting for you every step of the way. Keep creating, keep growing, and confidently own your worth. And until next time, thanks. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Want to keep the inspiration and practical tips coming straight to your inbox? Join the Flute 360 newsletter today for exclusive insights, first access to special offers, and tailored advice to elevate your flute journey. Go to HeidiKaybegay.com or click the link in the show notes below to sign up now and stay connected. Let's talk about flute.